Today, we are going to be looking at the most expensive Azorius cards, the most mana expensive. Are they worth it? We're going to take a look at that today. And so we're going to start off with none other than the Dream Trawler. Yes, the Dream Trawler. It is a 6 mana 3/5 Sphinx. Dream Trawler, thanks to Bob Talks Bridge. Whooped them in standard. Okay, so we got a flying lifelinker. Whenever you draw a card, Dream Trawler gets +1/+0 until end of turn. When Dream Trawler attacks, also get to draw a card. Very reminiscent of like many cards these days. You can't play Magic cards these days without drawing a billion cards off of them. And then draw a card, discard a card as the activated ability, and Dream Trawler gains hexproof until end of turn, and then you have to tap it. Well, that's not really that big of a deal. I mean, you'll just keep exhausting all your opponent's removal until they got no removal, and then it's going to completely whoop your butt. Not to mention, a 3/5 lifelinker is quite nice. When you're playing a type of control deck, you know, you get your opponent down to 1 life, just one life. Please let me deal the last point of damage. Then they play Dream Trawler and actually just suck all the wind out of all your sails, and then you're toast. I think this card is it's okay. You know, the only problem with this card by today's standards is that it's pretty expensive. But it's card advantage incorporated into a creature. It can get bigger depending on how many times you draw cards. And of course, it's got that lifelink. Next up, let's take, oh my god, I see so much of Yorion. Why, actually? What form are you playing this in? The Sky Nomad in Arena. But nobody actually plays it. Just having a free creature via companion rules, I guess, as a reward for building a big deck. That is a really good point. All right, so you do have the option. Just have this as your companion. It's not entirely free, but it's sort of free. It's a 5 mana 4/5. Your starting deck contains at least 20 cards more than the minimum deck size. Now, so it is going to dilute your deck by a little bit. Your 60 card deck's now an 80 card deck. And to be honest, if your opponents never cast the Yorion, not only is it diluting their deck by 20 cards, it's also costing them a sideboard slot, right? Flying, when Yorion enters the battlefield, exile any number of other non-land permanents you own and control. Return those cards to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. Also important, and a little bit weird, the card's banned in Modern, but it's not banned anywhere else. Somehow it's like, it's okay. It's in Pioneer. It's just chilling there in Pioneer. No big deal. Just gets to sit there. You just have to build your deck with 20 more cards. It's okay. But for some reason in Modern, it's quite broken. Maybe we can unban. I don't know. Maybe we can unban Yorion. It's not making a mess of any of the other formats. I would say this is still worth it. If you build your deck around this, the 1 extra free card is devastating. Card advantage is everything. Well, I shouldn't say it's everything in this game, but it means a lot. And it is a reasonably large creature for 5 mana that will basically get more value out of all your ETB cards that are on the battlefield. Very funny that you say you never see it get played. I assume that you're playing the type of deck that might be like really all in to win super fast or not at all. Because otherwise, Yorion, if you play a deck that goes the long game, that the game stretches on for forever, you'll see the people bring their Yorion because like they'll have nothing else to do at some point. Yorion decks are annoying versus my main mill deck. There we go. There we go. Main deck odds versus mill. Yeah. Oh yeah, at least it's not Battle of Wits level of an ask for a deck size. No, I guess you could put that in a Battle of Wits deck. It's super free in a Battle of Wits deck. Might even help dig for, I mean, like, okay, so if you get a bunch of ETB cards that draw cards and you play Yorion to draw, it's like re-trigger all those ETBs, dig a little bit closer to that Battle of Wits. Okay, I would say Yorion is definitely still worth it today. 100%. Next, we've got John with the Godhead of Awe. Bob Talks Bridge says, post-stream, can you set your videos to unlisted instead of private? That way I can finish watching when I get home. Oh, well, it depends. I do sort of do that and then set, usually give it like an hour, but then I have to schedule, the ones that are scheduled a few weeks ahead in advance, I don't want to forget about it, so I just schedule it immediately. It's very easy for me to forget those. Godhead of Awe. We have a 5 mana card. You can spend it either your choice of blue or white. It's a 4/4 spirit avatar creature with flying. Other creatures are 1/1s. This card is, I think this card is insane. It's a borderline humility. Now, it doesn't remove the abilities from the cards, but I mean, it makes them borderline worthless. Now, there is a caveat that is, it sort of makes your creatures worthless. Because, like, okay, so now how are you going to be blocking all those 0/1s? Because your other creatures are also 0/1s, right? Yeah, that's the problem. So that's sort of the catch. Godhead of Awe is the strongest of all these dinky little 1/1s out there, but you have no other way to take advantage of the other 1/1s. Oh, I see. You can have a Lord effect, I suppose. You can have an Anthem effect. So other creatures are 1/1s, but you're the only one with an Anthem to make your creatures 2/2s. You can build it. You can build your deck around it. Yeah, it doesn't remove the ability. So it's like, but it's still got the humility feel to it. Humility, of course, is the card. Humility. Humility is the card that all creatures lose all abilities and have power and toughness 1/1s. This is still... Look, it's shrinking the board, all right? The person who has like an 8/8, a 10/10, a 5/5, a 7/6... they're not so big anymore. So any Godhead of Awe, I think it's interesting. It's probably not worth it. You have to really build your deck around it, and it's not even legendary. But it's a very unique effect. It's a very unique effect. It overrides Ouroboros' effects, right? No, because it's the base. The base toughness is 1/1, but I believe, what is it called? Ouroboros? How do I look this card up? If it's the card I'm thinking of, Ouroboros. That thing puts +1/+1 counters on it, right? What is this card called? Boroid? There we go. Oh, Ouroboros. It's a 4-mana 1/3. At the beginning of combat on each of your turns, put X +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, where X is this creature's power. So the counters still get added. And then on the second time it's going to trigger, it's got a +1/+1 counter on it, right? So it's going to trigger based on it being having 2 power, the +1/+1 counter plus its base +1. So yeah, it actually does not screw over Ouroboros. Ouroboros screws over Godhead of Awe. And for that, we're going to say, well, I shouldn't say that's the only reason, but we'll say Godhead of Awe, bit awkward. But I'll tell you what, Godhead of Awe plus Ouroboros in the same deck, that's probably the ticket. That's how you break a Godhead of Awe. We broke Godhead of Awe, just put in the Ouroboros deck. It actually doesn't really affect Ouroboros. Yeah, exactly. It starts at 1 power. I think the idea was like it would stay at 1 power perpetually, but no, it wouldn't matter. Next up, we got Marcio's Time Wipe. Time Wipe. Is that like wiping your butt, but of time? We have a 5-mana sorcery. Return a creature you control to its owner's hand, then destroy all creatures. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know how much of a fan I am of just a singular board wipe, and like, you know, yeah, I get it. You bounce your own card. It's almost like you drew a card because that thing was gonna die anyway. I think for a board wipe it could be better though. I've seen better board wipes with more abilities. Well, I don't know about more abilities for 5 mana, but I'm paying like an extra mana to save that one creature. Okay, and then we have got Hexenorts with a Voyage Home. So I would say Time Wipe, not worth it. Voyage Home is a 7-mana sorcery, affinity for artifacts. When I read that, I just ignore all the generic mana in this mana cost. It's 2 mana. You draw 3 cards and you gain 3 life. Sick. Sold. It's a bit weird though. I mean, because if you were going to be playing, say, a 60-card format, you probably maxed out on all the cards that you would play to draw cards. Things like Thoughtcast, Thought Monitor. There's probably going to be no room for Voyage Home, but still, yeah, it's a perfectly fine card, especially if you really need the extra card draw in, say, a 99-card format. Voyage Home is great. The big squig, a huge fan of life gain. Huge fan of drawing cards. Ancestral Recall and Healing Salve. Together at last. That's probably what the hell it is. And they went back home. To Alpha and Beta. That's exactly where they went home. Blank Somniac. Thank you so much for your super chat. Absolute Virtue. This better be an Anthem effect. Oops. Absolute Virtue. The 8 mana 8/8. It can't be countered. It's got flying. Sold. You have protection from each of your opponents. Good God, this thing is insane. This is definitely worth it. Whenever you have protection from a lot of people, it's Super Trumne Nemesis, right? Oh no, it's you have protection from each of your opponents. That's fine too. That's totally fine. I really like this type of card anyway. So whatever is going to give you like massive protection, it's not even easy to kill this thing. It's not going to die to Lightning Bolt, Burst Lightning, Fatal Push. It's basically like use a white removal spell or bust. But you're the white player. We need white removal. Does anyone have any white removal on the board? Yes, I do. And I'm going to use it for my own nefarious reasons. Does that include from their creature? Absolutely. Does that include their creatures? It does. So you have protection for you can't be dealt damage either directly or by creatures, enchanted or targeted by anything by your opponent. Screw you, Thoughtseize. So yeah, Absolute Virtue is a very fantastic card. I thought I read a question here. Mail says I was halfway last day. I was in halfway last day AI card episode, but it went down and there was no video after saying video was private. It should be back now. It's public. It's there. Enjoy it as you wish, but do it after today's show because I need you right now. I need you people. Like we've shown Absolute Virtue before and said it's crap. Now it's okay. It is in comparison to all the other big mana Azorius cards. That's what I'm now comparing it to. It's all in relation. Everything is relative in this world. So Absolute Virtue is going to be really nice compared to all the other Azorius cards that we're looking at today because they're all pretty dubious. So if you're an Azorius player, I mean, you gotta. This is the best we got over here. If you want Absolute Virtue, is just going to be one of the more powerful ones. But Absolute Virtue, in compared to like other 8 mana cards, like I mean, it doesn't have any ETB or anything, and it still technically can die to like a board wipe or something. So I mean, it's vulnerable. Okay, next up, we're gonna take a look at. Akai, we did Dream Trawler. Sorry about that. We're gonna have to donate that super chat. It rhymed. Okay, Felicia with World Purge. Okay, you get the super chat. Akai, if you have another card, I'll keep an eye out for you. World Purge. We are purging the world apparently. What is this? 8 mana sorcery. Return all permanents to their owner's hands. Each player chooses up to 7 cards in their hand, then shuffles the rest into their library. Empty all mana pools. Chooses up to 7. Oh, they don't have to. What? Return all permanents to their owner's hands. Each player chooses up to 7 cards in their hand. Oh, they shuffle the rest. So it's upheaval, and then we're basically restarting the game. Empty all mana pools, but we don't end the turn, chat. We don't end the turn. It's expensive. I'm not really a big fan of like upheaval effects. Not like this, anyhow. What's interesting is it's upheaval for white. How much white bounce is there out there? Is there any? I mean, I guess this is an example of it. Yeah, reset the game, accept the life. What is on the bingo card for there's no bingo card for this show. This is not a bingo card show. Restarting the game with whatever hand you want it. Well, not whatever hand. It's like whatever hand you can make from the stuff that was already played so far this game. Yeah, a very hard color bet. We're bending white. Dude, they can't draw cards, but by god damn it, they can bounce everything back to people's hands. Okay, I don't know where to evaluate the sort of board reset type of card. I'm gonna say not particularly impressive. If you really need more bounce cards, I guess it's worth it. Next up, we've got Jeff with Dovin, Architect of Law. I might regret saying World Purge is not worth it, given the fact that there's probably like significantly worse cards that we're going to see on today's show. Dovin, Architect of the Law, is a 6 mana 5 loyalty planeswalker. +1, you gain 2 life and draw a card. I like that. -1, tap target creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. I think this is a strong effect, but for a -1 effect, I'm not in love with it. And then -9, tap all permanents target opponent controls. That player skips their next untap step. That is, I think, very weak. I think that last one is very, 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 very weak effect. So they had me on the first ability, but the next two are, they're pretty bad, to be honest. Like, trying to get to 9. I would not go +1 4 times, then go -9, just to screw over one player at the table for 1 turn. It's not like they lost a turn or anything. They just, all their permanents got tapped once, and all got a stun counter or something. Okay, we're going to take a look at these. So I'm going to say, not worth it. Unless you're playing a Dovin Architect of Law deck and you need it for the flavor. We're going to take a look at more of these amazing Magic the Gathering cards. The most expensive, expensive Azorius cards. And I'll tell you where you can get them from. FusionGamingOnline.com. My favorite place to get my Magic the Gathering cards. Deal of the week this week. 15% off all Ikoria Secret Lair Behemoth singles. But you always got to check in for the new deal of the week every single week because it changes. Maybe this week will be your week. And also, Secrets of Strixhaven is coming out. Pre-order your cards at FusionGamingOnline.com. They'll have Azorius cards. I can't promise it because I haven't seen the entire spoilers, but they'll have Azorius cards. Well, don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. And it supports the channel. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Okay, we have CEH player, Metamai the Ageless. This is a 6 mana 4/4 Sphinx. Flying. When Metamai the Ageless deals combat damage to a player, take an extra turn after this one. And Metamai the Ageless can't attack during the extra turns. It is finally, everybody, $6. This was $1 for an eternity. I actually have to see where. We have to go to MTG Stocks. MTGstocks.com. We have to go. Okay, I want to see Metamai the Ageless. Metamai. I've been holding on to, like, I see. Look at the spike over there. Look at the spike. I've been holding on to this thing for an eternity. I own like 2 of them. And it's always like $1. Like, I can't sell this card. It's too early. All right, finally, this card is getting the recognition that it deserves. Because when you get extra turns. It's an extra turn card. How can that be bad? Anyway, I like it. Probably my opponents don't like it. Yeah, I've been holding on to the Ageless for ages. You got that right, Teutonic Nightmare. Free Firefall, can you use fight spells to make it deal damage to the player during extra turns? Can you name a fight spell that damages the opponent? Whenever Metamai the Ageless deals combat damage to it has to be combat damage anyway. So you can't so if you do, even if you deal damage somehow during the main phase, that's not combat damage. You have to get in, you got to turn it sideways. You got to fly over the opponents, you got to deal damage, you get that extra turn. It's good stuff. My deck last year was this commander for the extra turns. I just made it unblockable. It's already unblockable. Look, it's a flying creature. Target player fights another target player. Judge. Anyway, I think this card is definitely worth it. I think it's a banger. All right, $6. It's going to go to $12 now. I've been waiting for so long for this. I'm like, this got to be a good card. But they're going to reprint it once, and then it's going to go back to $1 again. Steve Cooper with Isperia Supreme Judge. I guess Double Strike is the best option. Oh my, what happens with Double Strike in this card? Just combat damage to a player, take an extra turn after this one. Metamai can't attack during the extra turns. Do you get 2 turns from giving it Double Strike? Just flicker and forget? Oh no, but you can't. Well, it's going to remember what's an extra turn. You get 2 extra turns. Holy crap. We just broke Metamai the Ageless on stream. Okay. Asperia Supreme Judge is a 6 mana 6/4 Sphinx flying. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, you may draw a card. I love this. I love everything about it. I like drawing cards. I also particularly like that I don't have to do a whole lot. It is not the largest creature, unfortunately. It's got a pretty good chunk of power, but not a good chunk of defense, which is actually what I'm looking for most. When I sink 6 mana into a card, I want to have big butt. But if anyone wants to attack us, so whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, I may draw a card. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do at all. It's like Rustic. Yeah, do you pay the one? I was not asking you. It's good that it doesn't force you to draw the card too. Yeah, you may draw the card. Yeah, I mean, I guess there could be a situation someone attacks you with like 99 creatures. Hey, you got the Supreme Judge. You have to draw your deck. No, I don't. I read the fine line. We got Phil Goad with Azor's Elocutors. Or sorry, was it Elocutors? Something like that. All right, we have, it is a 5 mana 3/5 human advisor. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a filibuster counter on Azor's Elocutors. Then if Azor's Elocutors has 5 or more filibuster counters on it, you win the game. Whenever a source deals damage to you, remove a filibuster counter from Azor's Elocutors. Oh, I see. So we have to prevent our opponent from actually achieving... we have to prevent the opponent from dealing damage. So what, we need Teferi's Moat plus this card? I think this card is terrible, actually. This is going to do nothing except have everyone gang the crap up on you. They're just going to 100% wail on you. It's like, oh, he's got Azor's Elocutor. He's trying to win the game when there's 5 filibuster counters. There's probably some proliferate in that deck or something. Why would they be playing with that card? So they're just going to rip you apart. This does nothing except put a target on your back, and it can't even defend itself very well. So I would say Azor's Elocutor is a pretty bad card. Funny proliferate target. It is very funny, but you have to wait like an entire upkeep just to get the first counter, which is one of many problems. Combo that with multiple upkeeps. You need, well, I mean, good luck getting the multiple upkeeps. What else could you do? You could maybe have a million Azor's Elocutors on the battlefield. Oh no, what is it? You could have Hardened Scales. Oh no, Hardened Scales I don't think doubles. Hardened Scales. That's not going to double filibuster counters. It's just +1/+1 counters. I don't know how you're going to double this. I don't know how you win with this before everyone's going to beat the snot out of you. Could do a game mode around this. Everyone starts with an Elocutors and can only... Wow, that is a great idea. So everyone starts with an Azor's Elocutors, like, I don't know, maybe even in the command zone. And so you have to deal damage to everybody. If everyone's sitting back and doing nothing every single turn, then like, I guess the first person who can get this thing off will win the game. That's an interesting game mode. I like the idea. Anyway, I hate the card though. Faster than Approach of the Second Sun without extra card draw? Well, yeah, but usually you do have extra card draw on those decks. Next up, we got Rin with Restricted Office. Usually you have that card draw. That's why they do it. Restricted Office is a 4-mana room. When you unlock this door, destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater. Then also we have Lectured Hall for 7 mana, which is very expensive. Other permanents you control have hexproof. All right. I actually like this card. So you can build the deck around like large creatures. The 4-mana card is reasonably costed. So you can wipe the board of all the dinky little stuff on the battlefield. And then you have a free second half of this card, which is Lectured Hall. And your other permanents are hexproof. And who the hell is going to have enchantment removal for this thing? Nobody. So I sort of like this card. It's like, it's not flashy. It's got some good utility. Got a lot of mileage out of this guy, I imagine. Okay, next up we have Corbinek with Dovescape. The most Azorius card of them all? Yeah, I guess so. Except you can choose if it's going to be white or blue. So for 6 mana, it's an enchantment. Whenever a player plays a non-creature spell, counter that spell. That player puts an X/1/1 blue and bird creature token with flying into play, where X is the spell's converted mana cost. I don't know how to evaluate how good or bad this is. I would just say this card is it's doing its thing very well. It's a very, very strong card. It's basically going to lock the game out to just, you know, making a bunch of birds. It's going to make that What was that card? It's gonna make that other card useless. Where is it? It's the first one. Godhead of Awe. Godhead of Awe is completely useless in a world of Dovescape. Now the bird is the only word. This card is hilarious with uncounterable spells because you still get the doves. Oh my god, that is such a good idea. So you pair this with, say, a green deck with a bunch of uncounterable creatures. That's a great idea. Or you play Cavern of Souls in a, basically any Kindred deck, like an Angel deck, Wizard deck. That would work pretty well as well. Godhead of Awe came out later. Well, I guess so. Okay. Godhead of Awe certainly wasn't there to keep Dovescape in check. Okay, next we don't have a super chat. We have Blink Somniac joining the coffee crew here. Again, still a member. Thank you so much, Blink Somniac. That is definitely worth a super chat. We'll give it to Archangel Anu with, what is this? Gallifrey Stands. What does it stand for, though, Archangel Anu? This is a 6-mana legendary enchantment. When Gallifrey Stands enters the battlefield, return all Doctor cards from your graveyard to your hand. That's good card advantage, I guess. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a Doctor card from your hand onto the battlefield. Then if you control 13 or more Doctors, you win the game. I think this card is a banger. So I think it's doing, like, nothing turn 1. And also, I don't even care if I don't return any Doctor cards from my hand. It's basically sneak attack for Doctors every single turn. So if I'm allowed to, this is a one-sided show and tell. I like this card. I think this card is great. I don't even think at first I was like, return all my Doctors. Like, what went super wrong with my game plan? That all my Doctors they're all dead. Oh my god, there's no more Doctors left. Gallifrey Stand's going to bring him back to life. But no, I actually think even if you have an empty graveyard, you can still play this card. So you just play a Doctor, cast a Doctor, play a Doctor, cast a Doctor, and then you're free rolling on the 13 or more Doctors, you win the game card. I have a feeling it's really hard to enable too. It's probably not worth it. Next we've got Bolt with Suppression Ray. 13. Does that work? 13 changelings? Does that actually work? You may put a Doctor card from, I mean, I guess? Maybe? Someone tell me if that works. I guess the changeling players, they were salivating when they were looking at this Gallifrey Stands. Wonder what a changeling deck looks like. It must look really bizarre. Suppression Ray is a 5-mana sorcery. Tap all creatures target player controls. You may pay X energy. Then choose up to X creatures tapped this way. Put a stun counter on each of them. But it doubles as a land. Enters the battlefield tapped. You can add a white or a blue. I would say this card is definitely worth it. Any land, especially a dual land, that also doubles as a particular card of some sort, I think is great. Although this is a very, I have to admit, this is like of the very weak card. It's 5 mana, just tap all creatures target player controls. And that's basically it. If you don't have energy, then you can't use the second energy ability. But I mean, how many games are there out there where you're like, I need to get through, I need to kill this person, but they have like a big army. Well, you can just Suppression Ray them and then go in for the win. It's happened to me millions of times. You can't choose the same creature more than once to double or triple the stun counters, right? You may pay X, then choose up to X creatures tapped this way. Put a stun counter on each of... No, yeah, it looks like you can't. It just says choose X creatures. After you've chosen all your creatures, just put 1 stun counter on all of them. Can't game the system with the stun counters. Free Fire Full, Fractured Identity. Fractured Identity. Fractured Identity, a banger card. 5 mana sorcery. Exile target non-land permanent, and each player other than its controller creates a token. That's a copy of it. So it works 2 ways. You can either like use a removal spell on your opponent's best card, and now you have a copy of that best card. Also, people like to game the system by you play like a bad card, then you exile your own bad card to give it to your opponent, and then they're screwed. Like you can exile your Flage. Or sorry, not Flage. Flage. It's all the same to me in my head. We got John with Teferi, Hero of Dominaria is terrifying. You better believe it. Sounds like this card is making a comeback. Some people are talking about this card now. So we have a 5 mana 4 loyalty Teferi +1, so it immediately goes to 5. draw a card, and at the beginning of your of the next end step, untap 2 lands. What that means is this only costs 3 mana. You spent 5, but you got a rebate of 2, so you end up actually just spending 3. -3, put target non-land permanent into its owner's library, third from the top. That includes this card. Now, that's important because of the last ability. -8, you get an emblem with whenever you draw a card, exile target permanent an opponent controls. In theory, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, is just its own win condition. So you ultimate the Teferi, you start drawing cards, you exile your opponent's entire board. They got nothing. So like you're gonna put them down to a point where they're like just playing a basic land for the turn, then you just draw a card for the turn, and they have nothing else to do. Now, once that has been assembled, then you can just keep playing Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, and then going -3 to put it back into your deck, and you keep redrawing it, putting it back into your deck, and you just wait for your opponent to mill out. And that's how it is. That's how you win. You can win the game just with a Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, and it has been done many times. This is a 3-mana Planeswalker that replaces itself. Absolutely. And no one can tell me otherwise. Definitely a 3-mana Planeswalker. To talk down there. So you managed to hardcast Phage. But we have tons of blockers. What is your plan? Yeah. Fractured identity. That's the plan. And everyone's going to get a Phage. And everyone's going to feel very sorry for themselves. So Teferi, Hero of Dominaria is an absolute banger card. Always was, always will be. And I can tell you where you can play this card. You can play it online with Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards on Magic Online, where you can play any deck, any format. You know where Teferi belongs? Seeing a little bit of play in Modern. You know where else it can play? It can play in Pioneer. Very, very strong card. Unbelievable. And you can have access to Teferi and all the other Teferis using Mana Traders. Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu_BH2 for 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription. Hello, Teferi. So we meet again. Why do you have a marker in your hand? Do you see me with the marker? I like, you know what? I'm a pretty big pen spinner person. I don't know how much people see the pen spinning on coverage because I'm doing it off camera, but I'm basically doing a lot of like hand manipulation. Been doing it for years. Wouldn't say it's like a coping mechanism or anything, but it's just it's a force of habit that I can't drop. I'm not gonna say it's worse than smoking, but I do it perpetually. Next up, well, we have a lot of cards we have to get through. Okay, old boy. Swift Silence. We're having such a great discussion. Swift Silence is a 5-mana instant. Counter all other spells. Draw a card for each spell countered this way. That's pretty cool. I would not say that this is a very mana-efficient card. But if you're in a game where people are playing a lot of spells on top of each other, maybe it has some advantage. I would say I'm a little neutral on this. So I'm not going to say this is the most amazing card in the world. I just wouldn't say it is a bad card in the world. A fellow pen twirler. I've been pen twirling since GoldenEye came out. Actually, my inspiration for pen twirling was Boris from the movie GoldenEye. I thought it was so cool. And I very slowly would watch the movie to see exactly how he did it. And then like I found out there were like these master pen spinners in Japan. And they had these like wicked videos of all sorts of pen tricks, and so like I learned all like I don't know the flashiest looking ones, in my opinion, all the flashiest ones. Richard is the same. Look at that. We all got inspired by Boris from GoldenEye. You're a drumstick sinner. I'm sure there's some epic drumstick tricks to be done as well. So okay, the downside to Swift Silence is that the biggest stack that you could possibly have is the one where there's a bunch of counter spells, but then they could counter spell the Swift Silence. You get what I mean? But I think the idea that you could get 3 cards off of is like counter everything, and also draw 3 cards is somewhat appealing. I would say it's unreliable, but it's appealing. But your opponents can still counterspell the Swift Silence too. Yeah, that's the danger. But if there's like multiple counterspells on the stack, I think it's slightly assumed that they might have emptied their hands already. Might have emptied their hands. Okay, we have another super chat coming from I know Phil Goad. This did you get sniped? Did I accidentally snipe you, Phil Goad? I can't tell if we just did that one. Are you responsible for this? Okay, if not, I have no idea where this came from. Phil Goat, if you have another card. I don't know. Is this your super chat? I can't tell. I honestly can't tell. Okay, I'm going to move on to Gaster Buzzer, who just became a member. Thank you so much for becoming a member. We're going to donate this to... Can your own spell to keep it going. Filter your own spells. Okay, next up, we've got Leon Corgi. Enchanted Evening. Okay, Phil Goat has another card. I'll get to you, Phil Goat. I have a feeling you accidentally got sniped. Enchanted Evening is a 5-mana enchantment. All permanents are enchantments in addition to their other types. I find this is a pretty lame card, but I mean, I'm not going to deny that this is a very, very powerful card for anyone that needs to make like an all-enchantment deck. And of course, you could like game the system so that this plus Aura Shards is just like GG for your opponents. Because Aura Shards will let you just play creatures and then just blow up all their enchantments and not your own. Okay, we're going to make sure that Phil Goad gets their money's worth around here with Asperia the Inscrutable. Okay, this is a 5-mana 3/6 Sphinx with flying. Whenever Asperia the Inscrutable deals combat damage to a player, name a card. That player reveals their hand. If he or she reveals the named card, search your library for a creature card with flying, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your library. This is weird. So like what? This is the type of card that you want to have when you have telepathy on the battlefield, or like you peeked at your opponent's hand ahead of time. Have to predict something that they must have in their hand. That player reveals their hand. Well, you know what? If a player has... If there's a blue player at the table that has 6 blue mana, you could just name Cyclonic Rift, and I bet you'll be right. Okay, this ability is truly inscrutable. Is it a flavor win? I guess so. Deals combat damage to a player. Name a card. That player reveals their hand. So it's just a weird tutor. I don't really like this card. If you name the card wrong, you're screwed. That's my biggest problem with this card. When it deals combat... Oh, no! It's every time you deal combat damage to a player. It's not an ETB. I think it's hard to use. I think it's too hard. You can block it. There's no guarantee you get it right. So you mostly have to roll... I mean, this is basically a 5-mana 3/6 flyer. And the effect is, like, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's card advantage. It's card advantage. You tutor. Tutor directly into hand. It is still good. If you see what your opponent draws, yes, that's possible. Or you bounce something back to their hand, so you know that's in their hand. Lantern and Insight combo, and also with similar cards. That's true. Okay, so you might be able to build a deck around this. You might be able. I mean, it's a commander. It's potentially a commander. Oh, actually, this is a good point by Teutonic Nightmare. You do get to see their hand after the first attack. So your next attack is nearly guaranteed. Nearly. Or they'll do everything they can to block your big clunky 3/6er. Okay, next up. We got Bell here with Gosta Dirk. Gosta Dirk is a, what is this? 7 mana legendary 4/4 human warrior. It's got first strike, and creatures with Island Walk can be blocked as though they didn't have Island Walk. I would say this is a bad card. Don't play this card against me, because I usually have Island Walk. Is there anything else good about this? I don't think so. The best part of this card is it's part of the reserve list. For anybody who likes to collect cards. That's all it's useful for. Is slightly going up a few pennies a year. For the most part. His sword is weird. You know what? Actually, I think more swords should look like that. It's magic, after all. It's got inscriptions. The inscriptions give it its power. Okay, next up, let's take one from Voltlin. Noyan Dar. Oh my god. Royal Shaper. 5 mana 4/4 Merfolk ally. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may put 3+1/+1 counters on target land you control. If you do, that land becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with haste. That's still a land. And it's not until end of turn. I think the card is okay. I think it's okay. I don't like that as no ETB and you gotta wait for this thing to live to the next turn. So I'll give it the okay range. You are going to be playing, if you're in white and blue, you're going to be playing a good steady amount of like instants and sorceries. Maybe the best way of looking, this is like that Talleyrand card. It's like Talleyrand, except it turns your lands into creatures. Maybe that's bad. Maybe that's a bad thing. I don't want my lands turning into creatures. This is not like Earthbend. When those lands die to a board wipe, they're dead. I mean, they're supremely dead. I'm gonna lose my board. I'm gonna accidentally like lose all my. I'm gonna accidentally Armageddon myself. Okay, I take it back. I don't like Noyandar anymore. Totonic Nightmare. How's that royal shaping turning out for you now? No, not apparently any good. I think this is the problem. I think that's why they made Earthbend what it is, so that they can like explore this type of an ability more, but don't have to. Yeah, we have Earthbending at home. This is what Earthbending used to be, and it didn't age well. In fact, it aged terribly. Okay, next we got Zach Raikou with Ether Swarm Sphinx. Ether Swarm Sphinx. Ooh, this is expensive. 9 mana for a 4/4, but it's got affinity for artifacts, so basically it's 2 mana. Flying and Cascade, that's awesome. I think this card's great. Oh, there is one problem, though. There is one problem with this card. If you're going to be playing this in, like, an affinity deck, you're probably going to Cascade into, like, a 0-drop. So the only way you can really abuse this is, like, brainstorming something really powerful on top of your deck. That's, like, 8 mana. Yeah, 9 mana Cascade. But you got to be careful. Like, if you just play this in the dark, you're just going to hit, like, a Mishra's Bauble or a Mox Opal or something. You know what I mean? A Memnite, an Ornithopter. Think of all the artifacts you have to play so that this card only costs 2 mana. Maybe it doesn't have to be that type of deck, but, like, usually that's how you make these affinity cards really cheap. You're going to get, like... I mean, you might get even more ramp, I guess. Hit, like, a Mana Vault or something. Okay, next we've got a super chat from Steve Cooper and a donation. We got the Drog Skull Reaver. I wish it was mono white. Well, it's not mono white. It's blue white. So it is 7 mana for a 3/5 spirit, flying, and double strike. It also has lifelink. Whenever you gain life, you also get to draw. A card. I have nothing particularly against this card. Whenever you gain life, draw cards. Basically, I mean, that last ability is insane. You could even play this with some sort of ETBs that let you gain life, and so you immediately draw cards off of it. And you're gonna, it has double strike, so you're gonna draw double the cards off this damn thing. Okay, I like this card. I think it's clunky as hell. It's clunky as hell, but the effect is right. 4 abilities. What does this guy want to be a planeswalker? Borderline is a planeswalker. Okay, we have a dono from Steve Cooper. We'll give it to David Geist of Saint Traft is too small toads. Way too small. David Sampson, Urza Planeswalker. Oh my god. This is not a real card. Technically CMC 8. Okay, we'll look up Urza Planeswalker. Okay, what if I just look up Urza? There we go. There it is. Urza Planeswalker. 7 loyalty. Yeah, it's technically 2 cards, so I'm going to put in, like, never happening pile. It's 7 loyalty. You may activate the loyalty abilities of Urza Planeswalker twice each turn rather than only once. +2 artifact, instant, and sorcery spells you cast this turn cost 2 less to cast. You gain 2 life. We also have +1, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. You have 0, create 2 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens. -3, exile target non-land permanent, and also -10, artifacts and planeswalkers you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Destroy all non-land permanents. Okay, in theory, this is broken. But in practice, who has ever cast this card? Has this ever been melded into something in the history of this world? Has anyone got the Might Stone and the Urza Lord Protector on the battlefield at once? Can we get a testimonial here? I mean, you send out Urza turn 4, Mightstone, Weakstone turn 5. He can go Planeswalker on turn 6 without cheating. But can you get it off without people interacting with it at all? I've gotten it off pretty often, actually. Okay, we have 1 testimonial. Okay, I'm sold. The card is busted then. Super, super busted. Weaver can deck you if you have Soul Warden out. Yeah, I guess you can accidentally deck yourself. You gotta be careful with that last card. Maybe if Urza Lord Protector is your commander. Oh yeah, this guy can be your commander, and then you can use some. There's a lot of tutors to get the Might Stone and the weak stone. Not so weak after all, now is it? Get it? We have the ultimate Urza Planeswalker. This is basically what's his name from the Avengers? The Might Stone and weak. Instead of getting 5 stones, it's only 2. And turns out, I guess they go in his eyes instead of a gauntlet. Not Thor. What the hell is that big purple chewing gum guy? Thanos. This is basically the Thanos of Magic the Gathering. Someone's gonna say Thanos here. There we go. That's right, Toads. This is Thanos. I guess he went down the same way. I need to keep the perspective that we are usually talking commander perspective on the show, not 60 cards. No, we can talk both. No. Both are perfectly legitimate. I am more of a 60 card person than a commander person. Also, I found out, using like marketing research, a lot of you guys play on Arena. You guys just prefer standard, alchemy, historic. Surprised the crap out of me. Next up, we got Prince of Winners with Elminster. Elminster is a 5-mana 5 loyalty planeswalker, apparently. I've never heard of this one. Whenever you scry, the next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn costs X less to cast, where X is the number of cards looked at while scrying this way. +2, draw a card, then scry 2. And also -3, exile the top card of your library. Create a number of 1/1 blue fairy dragon creature tokens with flying equal to that card's mana value, and Elminster can be your commander. So the good thing is that this can be your commander, if that's exactly what you want. But it's like, whenever you scry, the next instant spell costs X less. X's, so you can make your X spells cheaper in blue and white? What is that gonna do? I guess there's some cards where you make a bunch of soldiers. That's possible. +2, draw cards, scry 2. It's okay. Exile the top card of your library. Create a number of 1/1 blue fairy and dragon creature tokens with flying equal to that card's mana value. That card's okay too, I guess. It's it's all around. It's okay. I'm not super thrilled though. That's Gandalf. I'll tell my kids that's Gandalf. I'll tell my grandkids this was Gandalf back in the day. Gandalf before he became Gandalf. This Planeswalker definitely wants you to play the high CMC cards. Well, you can't play too many, or else your hand is going to be really clunky at the beginning. Sweet, I exiled my Emrakul and got 15 1/1 tokens. Hope my opponent doesn't have pest control. Well, we have counterspells for that pest control. Gandalf the Red. You see, Gandalf was every color. White, blue, black, red, and green, before it finally settled on gray. Let's just spread a bunch of misinformation about Gandalf. Okay, next up, we've got okay, I'm gonna get to Archangel Anu. You want weird? Try the 7th Doctor. Seventh Doctor is a 5-mana 3/6 Time Lord Doctor. When the 7th Doctor attacks, choose a card in your hand. Defending player guesses whether that card's mana value is greater than the number of artifacts you control. Do you know the mana value, opponent? Okay, if they guessed wrong, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. If you don't cast a spell this way, investigate. That is crazy. Defending player guesses whether the card's mana value is greater than the number of artifacts you control. So if they say no, so if it's 7 mana and they say no, so this is just a way of weirdly getting creatures in play. Oh, I see. Oh, but also if we have a lot of artifacts and it's cheaper, then they could say they still have to guess right. Bizarre, very, very bizarre. Okay, I like this card. I like the mischief that it creates. Other than that, I think it's terrible. I don't know how you easily slot that into an artifact deck. Well, they could always say higher to avoid any cheating. Are we having Jank combo show later in the evening? We actually, how did you know? What's the, yeah, we have Jank MTG combos. You have a good sense for when the Jank MTG combos happen, Hexenort. You're a mind reader. Or maybe you discovered the pattern. You've got a pulse for when these things happen. So you want just the right number of artifacts to make the guess hard. Can we, like, sack treasures in response? I guess not. Imagine before we trigger this thing, we sack, like, 2 treasures and then attack. And then we give our opponent, like, a choice. I think, and like, we're bluffing. We might be, like, sacking treasures just to bluff our opponent. Yes, I think it's greater. I think it's smaller. Hexenor is like, it's my favorite type of show, the combo show. The pattern I've found is that they're usually on Thursday evening after the 20th of each month. Yeah, I try to pace them out like once a month. You got it right, Hexenor. Your pattern recognition does you well. Like, you think it works, but it doesn't. Have you tried Jank non-combo theme? Huh? Well, then what's the point of pairing anything together? Like, oh, you think it works, but it doesn't? Well, honestly, Prince of Winners, we have that show during the Jank combo show all the time anyway, because a lot of people suggest combos that actually don't work. So I know this guy is their commander. I'm playing a bunch of artifact sweepers to rig the choice. Oh, yeah, you could do that, actually. Yeah, wipe the board in response. Always say higher. Okay, 7th Doctor. I think it's Jank. Okay, let's get through a bunch of cards. Christopher B. Master's Guide Mural. Master's Guide Mural. This is a 5 mana artifact. When it enters the battlefield, created 4/4 blue and white golem artifact creature token, but it also has craft with artifact, which when you craft it will transform into Master's Manufactory. Tap, create a 4/4 white and blue golem artifact creature token. Activate only if Master's Manufactory or another artifact enter the battlefield under your control this turn. This is terrible. This is a bad card. 5 mana just to make 4/4s, and you have to craft the other side, and the other side only triggers if we play artifacts on the same turn. I think it's awful. I think it's terrible. Okay, we have one more super chat from Blinksomniac. Ayesha Tanaka. Get him artifacts. Hold on, which one? Oh, the original one? I think you want the... Hold on, Artificer? There is no Artificer one. You mean the armored one? Otherwise, I think you just mean this one. This one is banding. What is this thing? This one says banding, counter target artifact effect requiring an activation cost unless the artifact's controller pays white. Play this as an interrupt. This is terrible. But I think you mean the other one. Okay, this Ayesha Tanaka armored, not Artificer. It is an Artificer card though. Whenever Ayesha Tanaka armored attacks, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may put any number of artifact cards with mana value less than or equal to Ayesha's power from among them onto the battlefield tapped. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Ayesha can't be blocked as long as defending player controls 3 or more artifacts. What, we're supposed to give our opponent artifacts? Put any number of artifacts equal to from onto the battlefield tap, but the rest Ayesha can't be blocked as long as defending player controls 3 or more artifacts. So if they just incidentally have a bunch of artifacts, oh, you think you read armor as Artificer? I would have done the same thing. Oh, yeah, that's right. The old one is disqualified anyway. It's okay. I would say this thing is okay. I mean, I like the value out of this. When it attacks me, look at any number of artifacts and put them all onto the battlefield. You just got to make a bit large Ayesha, but this is going to be hard to pull off. I think it's okay, but I put on the not worth it side. Toilet Duck with Katara Water Tribe's Hope. Like, to get this Ayesha online, you have to basically use pump spells to get you some really good value out of it. Katara Water Tribe's Hope. I love the art. It's a 5 mana 3/3 human warrior ally. Vigilance. When it enters, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. Waterbend X. Creatures you control have base power and toughness XX until end of turn. X can't be 0. Activate only during your turn. I like it. It's okay. It's just good enough. Or is it? Hold on. It's a 5 mana for just 2 creatures on the battlefield. But it has Waterbend X, so it's... So what I'm reading is it's what's that changeling? It's got this X ability, and all creatures' base power and toughness are now equal to X. That's just what I'm seeing here. It's basically what I'm seeing. One day Nikachu will be an AI imposter, maybe. You know, it's creepy. I did once get an email from some random company asking to pay me like tens of thousands of dollars so that they own the rights to my likeness for the purposes of AI. It's like, well, if that was a snap no. They would have like just perpetually made me who knows what they were gonna do with me? Who knows? Easiest no of my life. But I'm sure they're gonna do that with people against their will at some point. Lesthian with Riptide Gearhulk. This is a 5 mana 2/5 double striker with prowess. When the creature enters, for each opponent, put up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls into its owner's library, third from the top. Put up to 1 target non-land permanent. Oh, so we're just sort of sucking it away. That's interesting. Sort of like this. A non-land permanent. And then make the opponents shuffle their deck. How do we know you didn't say yes and this is AI? You know... It would make if I ever say something stupid or I look just way too stupid on stream, I'll just say, "Oh, it was the AI. It was the AI. I'm paying Sora or what other stuff there is. I think Google Gemini has probably some video service or something. It wasn't me. I'm just trying to save some time here." Yeah, Canadian AI. That crappy Canadian AI over there. Okay, Mercenary with Jedit. Hold on, let's get Jedit. Ojanen. Okay, if you don't have a card yet, we're banging these out. This is a 7 mana 5/5. Oh, it's terrible. It's just a 7 mana 5/5. It is a legendary creature, though. You can put in your Legends deck, I suppose. Kano. Oh, Lavinia of the 10th. I know this one. Lavinia of the 10th. Why don't they... Okay, so it's a 5 mana 4/4 pro red. That's awesome. When Lavinia of the 10th enters the battlefield, detain each non-land permanent your opponents control with mana value 4 or less. I think this is an awesome ability. I guess their marketing probably said like people hated this damn thing. And they just stopped making like detain-ish type cards. I think it's a very powerful ability. When something is detained, until your next turn, those permanents cannot attack or block, and their activated abilities can't be activated. I think it's busted. I don't think the rest of the world doesn't believe me though, because this thing's like 22 cents. Okay, we have Council of the Council of 4. How will Zyber Nation know what would be the tell? Can the AI pen spin as well as I can? If the AI tries, it would probably like the pen would glitch out or something or clip through my hand. That would be the tell. You'd have to ask. You'd basically have to say, "Hey, Nikachu, start pen spinning." See if the pen will clip through the fingers. The Council of 4 is a 5 mana 0/8. Well, not looking so good. They have no power. They're all weak. Whenever a player draws their second card during their turn, you draw a card. Okay, so it is effect. That effect is really strong. I won a Commander game not too long ago off the back of Fairy Mastermind. It was the first time I got so much value off of Fairy Mastermind, which is if anyone draws 2 cards in a turn, you draw a card. Whenever a player casts their second spell during their turn, you create a 2/2 white knight creature token. You know, it's not quite Fairy Mastermind, though. I'm going to say not worth it. Like, I do like this ability, but you can't, like, surprise anybody, and it's really expensive. And I don't know about the second... Like, the 2/2s are really not that impressive in the grand scheme of things. Every stream must start with pen spinning, so we know. But what if the AI gets good at pen spinning? We need to give a hand check. Yeah, see that. Okay, we got 10 fingers here. No extra fingers. Yeah, that'll be a crazy tell. I'm pen spinning and there's 6 fingers on the screen. The big squig, Venser, the Sojourner. The Sojourner. This is a 5-mana 3 loyalty Venser. +2, exile target permanent you own. Return to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. Wow, that used to be good value. Now it looks so pathetic these days, given how much blink there is. It's like you know, this card can't touch. What's it called? Displacer Kitten. -1, creatures are unblockable this turn. And -8, you get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell, exile target permanent. I think the card is just good enough. I think it's still okay. It's pretty clunky, but the -8 is a very powerful. It's just funny. The -8 is just Displacer Kitten, right? Whenever you cast a spell, exile target permanent. It's effectively Displacer Kitten. Wait, who's that? I didn't know there's a Planeswalker aside from, like, the Gatewatch guys. This is Venser. Never heard of You don't know who Venser is? AI Chubby Meatball. Toads with Filigree Angel. This is a, what is it, 8-mana 4/4 flyer. When Filigree Angel enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life for each artifact you control. This is very awkward. I mean, it'll be a lot of life. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know if it's worth it. Venser +2 can also do Manifest Dread flipping shenanigans. Oh, that's actually a great idea. There's also a lot of Manifest Dread cards in blue. Or there's enough of them. Could make some good use out of it. Fan factor, Hunding. Hunding or Hunting? Okay, I'm going to trust you with the Hunding. Hunding Bjornsen. Okay, Hunding is the name. What? I've never heard of this card. 6-mana 5/4 human warrior. Rampage 1 from Legends. You're a legend, Hunding Bjornsen. You're a legend! I don't even know what Rampage 1. Whenever this creature becomes blocked, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each creature blocking it beyond the first. Yeah, we need that extra power here. Not worth it, that's for sure. Hey, you can cascade into the Filigree Angel. Can you? It's 8 mana. I guess we need that 9-mana card. Next, who has no card yet? There's quite a few of you. We got you. Who else did we not get? Got you, Fan Factor. Turiot, oh no, I got you as well. Is there anyone else with no card yet? Tresaru, the Flock Chaser Phantom. Flock Chaser Phantom is a 6-mana 5/5 spirit. Convoke, flying and vigilance. Whenever Flock Chaser Phantom attacks, the next spell you cast the turn has Convoke. So you can convoke this in play. I think this is good. I think this card's fine. You can reasonably get this card onto the battlefield. And then you can reasonably get your future cards onto the battlefield. You just have to put this into some sort of token deck. I think. Token deck plus chunky creatures equals the victory. Sort of on topic, Venser died. Scars of Mirrodin. Oh no, R.I.P. Venser. I just learned about you. I just became your fan, and now I know you're dead. So understandable, some of us don't know him. What's really weird is they killed off most of the characters in War of the Spark. But you know what? It doesn't matter. They can just go to another timeline. Or they can just... Can't they just reanimate everybody? Like, I thought that's like what... This is magic. We can bring people back from the dead. We got Matt with... Let's get Righteous Authority. Righteous Authority is a 5-mana aura. Our first aura on the show. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each card in its controller's hand, which would be you. At the beginning of the draw step of enchanted creature's controller, that player draws an additional card. Why not? This is probably one of the better auras out there. Put it on a Boggle and we're good. Put it on a Boggle and we're good. Venser is the reason that Karn came back as the great creator, so blame him, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna blame him. And that's it for today. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. We saw some big mana value Azorius cards. Some good cards out there. Also, a lot of weird cards out there. As usual, my coffee crew, be here 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time on Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, but Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And for everyone watching live, we're going to be doing these shows for the next 2 weeks. Next 2 weeks, double a day. So every day morning, every day evening for everyone on the replay. Just show up for those times because that's the regular schedule from here on out. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And thank you so much, my coffee crew, for being here today. People like David Sampson, Christopher V, Felicia, Mercenary, Jess, Oldboy, Kano, Teutonic Nightmare, Fan Factor. We got Gaster Buzzer, Steve Cooper, Toads, Gillum, The Big Squig, Hexanort. What is this? And Dovin and Domri and Dak. They're all dead. Almost everybody is dead. And many more. Not every. And I have to also thank many more for being on the show. I didn't want to say like many more are dead. Thanks to everyone who's part of the show. Keep brewing those coffees, my coffee crew, and we're going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you at the next cup.